Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. The evening started like any other, but there was a tension in the air that seemed almost alive, coiling and waiting. Emily, my wife, moved through the house with her usual grace, her laughter airy and light, perfectly polished to hide the truth. She called it a girls' night, her voice cheerful, but behind the sparkle in her eyes was a thrill she thought I'd never notice. A freedom she assumed I'd never dare question. I let her leave, holding back the storm that had been quietly brewing for weeks, allowing her to feel untouchable. As the front door clicked behind her, I pulled out my phone, steady and deliberate, my heart calm but focused. Weeks of subtle signs had built a story I could no longer ignore. Late-night texts, strange locations, whispered meetings she dismissed as just friends. Tonight, every secret she thought hidden would be exposed. I typed a single measured message, its tone deliberately cold. "Hope you and he are having fun there." That one line carried the weight of weeks of observation and careful planning, ready to shatter the illusion she had built. At the restaurant, she laughed with her friends, wine in hand, trading playful jokes. Her phone buzzed quietly on the table, and she glanced down, expecting the usual harmless notifications she'd grown used to. But when she saw the message, her eyes widened instantly. Brief yet devastating, it began to unravel her perfectly controlled world. The thread holding her secret snapped, and panic flickered across her face, faint at first, then unmistakable. The man she'd hidden, the affair she thought invisible, was now fully revealed. She tried to mask it with laughter, a nervous hair sweep, a deflecting joke, but the motions were unnatural, drawing the attention of nearby diners. I stayed silent, watching, letting the exposure do the work. Anger or confrontation wasn't needed. The revelation itself was more powerful than any outburst. Every glance at her phone, every tense movement betrayed her fear. The power dynamic had shifted quietly but irrevocably, and she sensed it before anyone else did. Those around her noticed too. Conversations slowed, laughter paused, and eyes flicked toward Emily, a mixture of curiosity and confusion on their faces. She attempted to regain control, but her subtle panic only highlighted the truth. The confident, untouchable energy she radiated moments ago had dissolved into a visible tension, palpable to anyone paying attention. Her hands trembled as she tried to hide her phone, delete the messages, regain composure, but it was too late. Every text, every hidden meeting, every small lie had been exposed by my careful observation and timing. Her freedom, once flaunted with pride, had turned into a trap. Her body language betrayed her completely now. Shoulders hunched, eyes darting, she searched desperately for a distraction, an ally, anyone to save her from the fallout. There was none. Every guest could see the tension, the crack in her carefully maintained facade. For the first time, she realized the control she'd wielded so brazenly had been dismantled, quietly, methodically, permanently. Minutes stretched like hours. Her friends whispered among themselves, sensing the change, though they hadn't yet grasped the full extent. Emily's laughter had vanished, replaced by shallow, uneven breaths and a faint tremor. The man she had tried to hide no longer mattered. What mattered was the truth itself, laid bare in its rawest form. When she finally left, pale and trembling, her confident poise was gone. The freedom she had flaunted as her birthright was stripped away. The consequences of her hidden actions hung over her like a storm she could not escape. She had believed herself untouchable, immune to consequence, free to manipulate and charm without fear. That illusion ended tonight. I stayed home, calm, watching the aftermath unfold, letting the subtle waves of panic and humiliation take their course. The single message had dismantled her arrogance and exposed her more thoroughly than any confrontation ever could. Silence and precision had been my allies, delivering justice not with noise, but with undeniable revelation. Emily was humbled, exposed, forced to confront the reality of her choices. Every secret collapsed, every lie crumbled, leaving the weight of exposure hanging over her like an unrelenting tide. She was powerless, fully aware that her world had shifted forever, her confidence gone, unable to reclaim the control she had once arrogantly assumed.